supervisors shot down a proposal today to define marriage between a man and woman in Kern County. 17's Kiyoshi Tomono has a wrap-up from the county administrative building.
Some wanted supervisors to only allow heterosexual marriages in Kern County, even if it violates the law.
That no matter what some group of men in a court say, we will not violate what is self-evident truth, what is the law of God, in order to uphold an oath of office that is inferior to that.
Other speakers said going forward with gay marriage is about equality.
It's time to simply allow these people to live their lives with dignity.
In the end, county supervisors said defining marriage between a man and a woman would open them up to lawsuits, and they voted the idea down.
What do you say to people who say you're an elected official?
County Clerk Ann Barnett stopped performing all county wedding ceremonies last month, citing cost and security concerns. It's a move Supervisor Don Mabin compared to black segregation of the 1950s.
We're going to integrate schools. Okay, we'll fix that. We'll close the schools so we won't have those people in our schools. It's the same kind of philosophy. You throw out everybody in order to shun a few. And I think this is morally wrong.
A proposal to have another county deputize workers right here in Kern County to perform those wedding marriages instead received mixed reviews.
Ann Barnett is the representative of the state of California to make this decision in Kern County, and she made a decision. Whether you like her decision or not, it's her decision to make.
In the end, supervisors said no to that proposal too.
A proposed ordinance that would essentially ban gay marriage in Kern County was struck down by county supervisors this morning. A conservative action group presented the ordinance, citing the 80% approval rate by local residents of Proposition 22 back in 2000. County staff advised supervisors of possible legal problems with the ordinance after the state Supreme Court's ruling last May. The county began issuing same-sex marriage licenses last month. Also, a plan to bring back civil ceremonies was pulled off the table. Supervisor Don Mabin introduced a motion to ask San Bernardino County officials to deputize Kern County employees to perform those marriages. His only support, though, came from Supervisor Michael Rubio, who, as the chairman, could not second the motion. Rubio says that he challenged County Clerk Ann Barnett's motives for canceling the ceremonies from the very beginning.
Had she come out and said, it's against my moral conviction and my religious belief, and I'm going to stop this, providing this service, then I would understand. But to tell the people of Kern County I'm doing it because of budget issues, I'm doing it because of security issues.
County Administrative Officer Ron Araya had released a report late last month disputing the claims that the county lost thousands of dollars on those ceremonies. His findings indicated that it was basically about break even. ABC 23's Mark Christian will have a full wrap-up on these two issues coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
The Board of Supervisors rejected two gay marriage proposals today. The first was to ban gay marriage in Kern County. The other was to reinstate county-performed civil ceremonies. ABC 23's Mark Christian is live in studio with the story. Mark?
Emily, they were two decisions that left many with no real resolve. It all stems from the California Supreme Court's decision to allow same-sex couples to get married. The board was asked today to make a decision to protect traditional marriage.
The act of uniting a man and a woman in their matrimony.
After Proposition 22 passed a few years ago, some voters say they are frustrated because the Supreme Court should not be allowed to change what was already voted on.
I'm really angry that I have to come and vote again when California overwhelmingly voted no to same-sex marriage. Kern County, 80% voted no to same-sex marriage.
If the marriage protection ordinance passed today, Kern County would only recognize marriages between a man and a woman. But that decision would put local government in legal hot water, according to county staff.
What some are asking us to do today, we are not able to do. Were we to draft an ordinance that is contradictory to state law, we would lose.
The Supreme Court's decision could be short-lived. The same-sex marriage issue will be decided again on in November. Proposition 8 will go to the voters as a constitutional amendment. Some say, however, gay marriage is an issue of respect.
I think it's time simply to recognize that people who are created by God as they are should be treated by us with respect and dignity.
The other issue the board turned down today was Supervisor Maben's motion to allow another county to deputize officials here in Kern County to perform same-sex marriages. That stems from County Clerk Ann Barnett's decision to stop performing marriage ceremonies altogether. Barnett cited financial reasons, and as the truth came to light, the county would have not been financially strapped to perform these ceremonies.
Had she come out and said, it's against my moral conviction and my religious belief, and I'm going to stop this, providing this service, then I would understand. But to tell the people of Kern County I'm doing it because of budget issues, I'm doing it because of security issues.
And there were no real victories on either side today. As far as the county performing marriage ceremonies in the future, the board will take up that issue again in November after the elections. In studio, Mark Christian, ABC 23.
Kern County supervisors will not take action on a proposed ordinance that would have banned same-sex marriage. Same-sex marriages were allowed in California starting in June after a court ruling came out. But critics hope the county would enact a local ordinance defining marriage as only between a man and a woman. Kern County's top attorney said the proposal was unconstitutional. Today, speakers still urged the board to pass the ordinance, but supervisors said by law they could not. The state Supreme Court ruled it was unconstitutional to deny marriage to same-sex couples. Supervisor Mike Maggard said he disagrees with same-sex marriage, but the county cannot ban it.
What you're asking, what some are asking us to do today, we are not able to do. Were we to draft an ordinance that is contradictory to state law, we would lose.
Californians will vote on a proposed state constitutional amendment that would define marriage as only between a man and a woman. Several board members said that will be the right way to deal with gay marriage. Supervisors also looked at the question of the county of providing civil wedding ceremonies. After same-sex marriage was allowed, Kern County Clerk Ann Barnett ended all weddings performed by the county. The board considered getting a clerk from another county to deputize other Kern County employees to do the ceremonies. Coming up at 6, we'll show you what the board decided.
Kern County will not go back to performing civil wedding ceremonies. Today, most of the Board of Supervisors backed County Clerk Ann Barnett's decision to stop doing the wedding services. Reporter Carol Ferguson shows us what happened.
Kern County clerk stopped providing civil wedding ceremonies just before a state Supreme Court order went into effect requiring counties to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Today, the board decided they would not find other ways that the county could continue providing the civil weddings. The Kern County Clerk's Office stopped doing civil wedding ceremonies in June, just days before the first same-sex marriages were allowed by a court ruling. Clerk Ann Barnett said she ended the weddings because of space, security, and budget problems. The board looked at the idea of having a clerk from another county deputize other Kern County employees to do the weddings, but they heard plenty of criticism.
The ruling only forces the issuing of license by Ann Barnett. So if it only forces her to issue the licenses, then when 80% of the county voters pass Prop 22, why should the county of Kern facilitate and perform homosexual marriages with San Bernardino County's help or other entities' help? That doesn't make sense to me.
Other speakers echoed that, but Supervisor Don Maben says something was being left out.
There's 2,000 heterosexual couples who have received civil ceremonies in this county every year. People who cannot afford or maybe do not want a service by somebody else.
Supervisor Michael Rubio thinks many minority couples got married by the county.
That's who's being discriminated against today.
But speakers insisted Barnett was elected clerk and the decision was part of her job. Supervisor Mike Maggard agreed.
Ann Barnett is the representative of the state of California to make this decision in Kern County, and she made a decision.
At that point, Maben withdrew his motion to look into asking San Bernardino County to deputize local employees to do the civil weddings. Supervisor Ray Watson was among the board members, noting that the issue of gay marriage goes to the state voters in November, and
I think we ought to wait until November and find out what the results of the election are.
Now, Proposition 8 that he mentioned will be on the November ballot, which would amend the state constitution to define marriage as only between a man and a woman. One more thing, the board also today considered a local ordinance that would ban gay marriage. They refused to take action on that, saying they don't have the authority to enact any local ordinance that conflicts with current state law.